Hello, and welcome to another update video about the S&P 500. We're at a very decisive point here, very decisive. It seems to be the pressure is like building up on this chart. It's a very interesting chart, though very complex to count, very difficult to count, very difficult to keep up with as well. Yeah, because there are so many, sometimes I think, look, today I'm not doing it because it just makes your head explode to a degree. But I still wanted to emphasize there is a really important, we're at a really important point on the chart. Why? Because any drop can lead to a really significant pullback now. But so it could be potentially quite bearish on the S&P. We could experience quite a significant drop down lower here in this wave for pullback if a larger third wave topped here in 2022. Or end of 2021, yeah. And this would happen in an A, B, C structure over wave 4, maybe even into the region 2,500 to $2,500 to $3,000, maybe even lower, before we can carry on. And that will take months, if not years, to play out, depending on how low it eventually goes. This is certainly a risk that is here on the chart because the move down here, yeah, was followed by a 3-wave move up. So that means, okay, we only have 3 waves up so far. It is at least likely that we will see that drop down. Doesn't necessarily have to happen. I just want to point out the risk, and I did that in the previous videos. Now, don't think I'm bearish, yeah, but I'm tracking this very closely because I know that we're at a very key point here. Short term, the trend is still up, and I would not call the S&P bearish until I see several support areas break. Only when I'm convinced that the short-term uptrend is breaking, and as let's say the ice gets cracked, or is cracking, yeah, the floor is cracking, only when I see that, I will confirm that we are really coming down here. Because if we are coming down, this could be substantial, and this could really lead to a very strong bear market continuation, whatever. But at the moment, I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish short term. But I just want to emphasize that it is very likely that we see this happen. The reason is, again, the move down that started in 2021 was followed by a 3-wave move up. So until it's only a 3-wave move up. So the problem here is the risk is really high. And the downside risk is very high, actually, because we're pushing here into resistance and the market is maxing out what this B wave can do. But anyway, this could, of course, be something more bullish. And I am short-term bullish because the trend is up. It would be pointless to be bearish now while the trend is up, okay? You see a lot of people do that. They are not going with the trend. They're just bearish because they think something is going to happen. Well, nobody has a crystal ball, right? So we have to go with the trend. It is going to be the shorter time frame that is going to give us a clue about the larger time frames and how it's going to play out on the larger time frame. The battle is going to be decided here on the shorter time frame. Now, the thing is why I call this B wave out as very likely, this top, is because the beginning of the move down here, it's not impulsive, so it can be counted as an ABC structure, as I've got it actually here, yeah, as you can see here. Yes, it can be counted as a diagonal as well, but it can just be counted as a nice ABC structure as well, which will make all of this a larger ABC structure in a B wave. But again, it's possible to count that in a more bullish way, and we're tracking the bullish support area. So obviously, we are counting here in the, let's say, the bearish variant, an A wave, a B wave, and the C wave top might be in. It can still stretch higher, and I will give you the micro support levels, but we certainly have reached now the minimum expectation for this ABC structure of a larger B wave, which could then lead to the breakdown. I'm just saying now we can expect that drop down to happen, but don't think I'm telling you it will drop down. No. It just means we have fulfilled now the minimum expectations for this B wave. We were waiting for higher in the last few weeks. That happened because I wanted to see the minimum expectations fulfilled. Now that they are fulfilled, we need to be very mindful of the relevant support areas, because if they start to break, things are going to get ugly. Now, it could also be more bullish, and that would be a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside, a third wave, which could still stretch higher, to be honest. I would like to see that actually in the third wave, then a fourth wave and a fifth wave. So what I will logically do, I will track this support for the fourth wave. So what I will do now, I will give you continuously the support area for the fourth wave. And if I see that crack and break, then I have to, then only then I can call a B wave top. Do you understand my way of thinking? I see the risk of a strong downtrend, but we are in a local uptrend, in a short-term uptrend. So of course I'm focused on upside until the relevant support levels break. So I'm tracking the bullish scenario because that is currently relevant in the short term. That could even take us to new all-time highs, yeah? But if I see the break, it means, oh dear, this could get ugly. So in the very short term, support areas of the last, the support areas haven't changed. Relevant support here for this fourth wave, which could send us higher in a fifth wave, maybe to $5,000, $5,500. That would give us a bullish 2023 and maybe even 2024. Support area here is still, because price hasn't made a new high, still between 4,385 and 4,177. So price really needs to break below 4,177 to give us a clear view that a lasting top is in place. And of course, there are other micro levels, that are relevant before we really get into this yellow box. Actually, what we can do, if you're interested, I guess you are, we're going to do a little bit of micro counting to understand, okay, what would be such a micro support level? And just be aware that it is really complex to count the S&P. And you could even go down to the 5-minute chart, really. On the S&P, I think that is actually possible. Cryptos would be much more difficult on the 5-minute chart. But here, so where are we? Let's say we start here at this swing low here. Let me actually think, where are we? Yeah, so, I mean, we could escalate this much higher, right? I think there is actually a potential to count this here as a wave 1 and this here as a wave 2. So let's just do that. I'm going to add here a micro count just to give you an idea how this could actually escalate higher. But it will be the relevant, I mean, we're not interested in the count necessarily. What we're interested in are the relevant levels that they reveal. And based on the levels that the wave count reveals, we can identify when the count breaks down, which would ultimately give us a signal that the move down has started. That's I think, the mindset that we need to have here in this situation. So obviously, I think we have a 1-2 setup here potentially. And that could all still be part of this wave to the upside. Just want to give you an idea how it could actually escalate higher. 1, 2, so I guess we might have 3 here, but I'm going to do the micro count in a minute. So it could give us one more high, as it seems, but we are going to establish, and I'm not telling you this is definitely how I see it. I think a top could be in, absolutely. It's just that we need confirmation. This is such an important level, and it is at such a point where I really need confirmation through a break of support, actually several supports, to indicate that a larger B wave has topped. So, so how would that work on the micro level? Let's just try that as well. So from a micro point of view, I mean, this is a 3-wave move up. That's the problem, but I think we could say this might be a 1, a wave 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the 3 probably would sit here. This is the 4 and the 5. Let me think if that's actually what I know. 1, 2, 3. Now this is actually 5, so I would probably let the 3 here. Wave 4, 5. Let's just double check with the fibs. That should all be fine. Sorry, that was quick and crude, but yeah, I mean, it certainly did what it needed to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so and then I think one more high is at least a reasonable expectation that could give us now. So that count can give us a micro count, a micro level that this wave 4 needs to hold. So it could be this wave 4 bottomed here, but let's just double check with the fibs. How do we do that? For the wave 4, we take the length of the third wave. And we are looking at the area between the 23.6 FIB level and the 50% FIB level. So this is a support level here. Certainly could come down a little lower. The ideal target is often the 38.2 FIB level, $4,500. Below that, we've got 4481. Below that level, I think it could be quite likely that we are moving down already in the larger degree fourth wave. Just need to change the wave degree here. And if we then drop below 4177, and we will be able to, probably will be able to tell by the structure how we come down, if this is really a fourth wave or if we have already started an impulse to the downside, yeah, in the C wave. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. The S&P is quite complex, so try to give you as much information as possible in a short period of time. Yeah, and I think this is the next pivot that we need to be watching. I mean, if I go even more detailed, you know, we could say, right, look, what did we have here? I mean, this looks like from this swing high here, a potential, I could be a WXY and then here ABC, but other interpretations are possible here. Certainly, yeah. Okay, but anyway, what is important is the level. I gave you the relevant levels, and against these, the focus can be on higher. But at the moment, I have no confidence that this wave 4 is already over, so it could certainly go a little lower, yeah. But I'll leave it open a little bit. But that's what we need to be watching for. That's the stuff we need to pay attention to next week. Okay, that's my update about S&P 500. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.